should have been Talk Like a Pirate Day.
Yarr.
3, 2, 1.
Holidays.
Good God.
In which case, Jim's would definitely be Sylvanas.
So welcome back to Server Restart In. It's a weekly World of Warcraft podcast where three opinionated players get together to discuss their thoughts about the current state of the game. My name is Jim. I'm joined by Kristen.
Hello.
And Brian.
Hello.
And this is going to be one of two, I guess, special type episodes. It's the holiday season. Christmas is almost here. So we're going to do a little few short episodes to cover the holiday season. And what better way to start with than talking about World of Warcraft holidays? Not holidays.
Holidays.
No.
I like that idea, though. That's a good idea.
So, throughout, I guess when...
Well, you know what I was thinking about this?
Okay.
Do you remember, like, when, like, in the original game, there was Christmas, because I remember you open present, and, like, at one point you got, like, a clockwork robot
Yeah.
Like a
pet,
like a gnome or
or
something.
They still have those. You still open presents on
No,
Christmas.
I know.
Okay,
What I'm
okay.
saying is, do you recall how many holidays there actually were originally?
Oh,
That I do
Obviously
not
they
know.
were not all there.
I don't remember.
I don't either. I know Brewfest actually came out in Burning Crusade. I do remember that. But yeah, I don't recall even like Easter or whatever they call it, their version. I know the Lunar Festival, it was in vanilla. I remember going to that. I think they expanded upon it though. I think at one point it was just you went to Moonglade or whatever and fired off fireworks and that was it. But you could teleport there from different cities, which I think was the catch. So you had like a free teleport back and forth. But otherwise, like, I don't know that even Halloween, I don't know if Halloween was actually out until, I know it was in Burning Crusade, but I don't know if it was out during, at least the Headless Horseman was not out. Oh gosh, was that Lich King? Oh man. Wow.
I don't know.
know.
I do not know when they were introduced, and it's hard to find anything on the individual ones that say when they were introduced.
You know, there was a few that were very lightweight, like just flavor text-ish events. They weren't like you got gifts, you got whatever. Like I think Thanksgiving festival, whatever it's called. I think it was just they just put tables out and you could get a food or something every so often. It would respawn on there. And that was it. Like, I don't think you got buffs and all that stuff.
It looks like the events and the patches that they came out in is they had the Feast of the Winter Veil, the Christmas one, which was December 2004. Then you had Noble Garden, which was March 2005, which is the Easter holiday. You had Children's Week, which was in 2005. Darkmoon Fair, which was in 2005. The Harvest Festival, which is the Thanksgiving one. Nope. Why would that be in July?
Is that the Midsummer Festival?
Yeah, but they say
Is that what it
Harvest.
turned
It
into?
just says Harvest Festival, so I don't know how right that is. Oh no, Harvest Festival. Yeah, no. And then Hallows End was in October. Lunar Festival was in 2006. Valentine's was in 2006. Midsummer's they had in 2006. And Peon Day apparently was in 2006.
Peon Day.
I don't
You get to
remember
go.
Peon Day.
Macapeon?
That was probably what you had to do. I don't remember.
Who'd you pee on?
Hilarious.
What is Peon Day?
Peon Day.
You know, I was going to ask you guys what your favorite holiday was, but I think we already know it's Peon
yeah,
Day.
we've already figured that out. Peon Day. I don't remember it at all, but it is definitely my favorite.
Yeah, where is it? Oh, man, it doesn't even show up. Let me Google.
That's funny. Peon Day.
Man, what did you do on Peon Day?
Well, let me
No,
tell you.
I don't want to know what
Yeah,
you...
and who had a right to take away the Peon Day? Like,
Oh my god, it like doesn't exist on Wowhead.
Yeah, because
What
maybe
is
somebody
Peon
just
Day? Here we go.
Peon Day.
September 30th. So goblin vendors show up in the main cities, Orgrimmar and Stormwind. They sold fireworks at discounted prices. Everyone might celebrate the day that was saved by the hard work of the mighty peon and the great peasant. So it was like a peon/peasant day. And it's the anniversary. Oh, Peon Day coincides with the anniversary of the European closed beta test. It was thought to have been removed from the game in 2007 when the Harvest Festival was moved to the end of September. Oh, because it was displaced by Brewfest? Apparently, the holiday vendors were still around. It's only available on European realms.
Huh.
oh, interesting.
What the hell?
So
Okay.
Europeans get
European.
Europeans get
European Day.
Peon Day. Okay.
European Day. Okay.
European.
European
That's right.
Day. I like that. That's funny.
I am extremely upset. Who do we have to write to?
We need to just become European.
We're European too.
We are European. We like the P too.
We used to. Yeah.
So I don't know. What holidays do you guys think? First off, do you think the holidays are fun in general in WoW? Do you think that they add something? Do you think that they kind of like break immersion? Do you think,
I like
Well,
them.
no. Well, yeah. I would say I used to love them. I
Yeah.
think the only thing that bothers me nowadays is that the things that you could really get from the holidays, because there were limited time boosters to your character, like typically you overgear opportunities and even like bonuses and stuff like that. You kind of over anything it can give you for the most part if you're even barely playing close to, and even if you're not raiding, you can easily like overgear the gear it drops. You don't need to rep it, bonuses that it gives, all kinds of stuff.
are
so
you talking mainly the holiday dungeons?
I think, yeah.
no,
Can
No?
you get
I
gear
don't
from
even
other events?
I don't even know what the. No, I'm just saying in general, like if you think of holidays coming here and there, right?
Right.
And yes, okay. So I guess the gear comes from dungeons, whatever. I don't know, but I'm just saying,
Or the bosses
Looking-
or whatever.
looking at as a whole with the holiday, it is a limited time, and it used to be you could go jump into it and get some extra stuff to help you with.
Yeah, you could get
But
decent gear.
now it's very much like, you get a few toys just for the sake of having the collection, and that's it.
Well, the
if
gear,
you're on the brink,
if the gear lines up with the beginning of the expansion, usually you can get a couple of pieces of gear, right?
I think it still wasn't that relevant though, even because they bumped it from last year. Let's see. Well, last year wouldn't have made sense because it's timing. But at some point, like there was a gear drop that was closer to heroic, and obviously heroic dungeons is just not a relevant thing at this point.
Yeah. I mean, maybe for alts and stuff like that, I can remember getting some decent gear from it. And it's probably been a couple of patches, and then it would come back in later into the or a couple of expansions.
Well, I guess that perspective is important because you have an army of Death Knights, and I have one character that
No,
I really care
I mean,
about.
this was on my main character, and it was just
You know what I mean? You
Right.
know what I mean, though. Like it has become less relevant over the years, and
Oh,
that really was a part of the fun. Like
especially
even
because they don't update it every year. You know what I mean?
they do a lot better now than they used to. They used to not update it for even Christmas was like very much the same for at least 3 years or so straight.
Oh,
Um,
gear wise.
Well, like the little gifts that you got.
Yeah.
Like you used to get the same
Sweater.
gnome outfit or gnome
Yeah.
thing.
Oh, the little helpers or whatever.
Yeah.
But yeah, stuff like that. The ones with the gear, they always seem to increment those based on whatever whatever expansion was going on. And it was really cool. But like over the years it has gotten to the point where it's more like, since the expansion is heavy, more so on the in-game side, for me specifically, I just had really stopped doing them completely. I would say my heyday was probably Lich King whenever I did the got all the holidays done and got the
Violet
Drake.
Proto Drake.
Yeah. That was a big thing.
Yeah.
I hate that it's only a character wide though. I mean, now it doesn't matter because you can just buy, you know.
It doesn't matter because the mount's shared. So.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was I don't think the mount speed was it?
Oh, well, yeah, mount speed's not now, but I don't know if the mounts do that anymore. If they grant.
I don't think they do.
Oh,
I think
really?
No, because it was
they
like
took
3.
that.
It was
well,
like
it was
310
the
or
achievement
something like
itself that granted it, didn't it? It wasn't. I don't think it was the mount. Was it the mount that granted it?
Back then, the mounts had the speed on them, not the
Mm.
flight.
that. Yeah.
Okay.
60%.
Or
flight,
no,
that was the
okay,
good
I'm
old
sorry.
days.
You had both. You could buy the epic mount speed, or you could get the mount that had the epic mount speed on it.
Right.
I think you bought the 280 to 310. That's the only thing that you bought, but the mount did have it on it itself.
Right. Meaning you didn't have to buy it. You could just get the mount and have it because you had the mount.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
But no, I agree. I think the holidays, I think they need to kind of, it's hard to revamp them sometimes because certain ones, it's like, what are you going to add to it that really makes it any different?
Yeah. I would even argue that there's probably too many holidays at this point.
Well, they added fucking micro holidays.
But you know what I'm saying? Like even
Yeah.
stuff like that. Like I don't know. I mean, I miss them half the time, but even still, it's gotten so sparse of me logging onto the game even over the last couple of years that I miss those things because
Yeah,
there's
'cause
not direct rewards for
yeah.
me, and it doesn't really drive me to go want to be, a part of that persistent feeling in the game. And I think that I feel like that's probably what they're striving to do, right? Is just give people things to do to be a part of the world, like we were talking about before.
Yeah.
But it's really just not enough to pull me in over time. So
Yeah, I don't know. It's just like they did have some stuff for the Harvest Fest or whatever, Pilgrim's Bounty or whatever, where you could get a turkey soul shape. Or
I
a
did
critter
like
shape.
that. That was nice, but that was night phase specific. You know,
Yeah,
did they have the equivalents for
What
the other-
equivalent is there? There's no equivalent to any of the other covenants for soul shape.
right?
So
Okay,
there's no.
what I not specifically soul shape, but I'm sure there are. You guys get other things in other covenants,
No. There was nothing for
Okay.
any other covenant
Okay.
for that.
but you guys you have your abominations that you can build up or whatever, or like make them pretty, dress them up.
do they even
dolls.
have Christmas hats for those?
I feel like that would have been a cool thing to do.
You know what? They should.
I think I still have the fedora. I still have the fedora.
I think
You
one
know
of
what
mine
I
has a
mean?
top
Like
hat.
that would have been
But
a
yeah,
cool
no.
Or
thing,
top
like
hat,
an
yeah, it's a top
outfit.
hat.
Like so, I only am concerned about the night phase stuff because I'm night phase.
Right.
But that would have been a cool thing to do.
Yeah, little Mrs. Claus outfit on the abomination.
Yeah,
thing,
there
dude.
you go.
on the big like
Mm.
Emny one.
Wow.
Yeah,
Mm.
Slaughter Daughter.
slaughter daughter.
Oh my.
That's my favorite abomination.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean though. Like it
No,
doesn't.
I know what you mean, but I
Yeah.
don't think that those things exist. I don't think they thought that through because it doesn't impact the player. I really don't think they exist.
I feel like I need to work for. No, I don't want to work for Blizzard. Never mind.
But no, that would be a good idea to add something in there like that for Necrolords that they can get for their,
Well,
abominations.
didn't they? So didn't they used to put Santa hats on some of the
I
bosses? and
got
stuff?
a couple Santa hats
Yes.
doing some Legion time walking dungeons. I'm like, where
they
the
don't
fuck?
do,
I'm like,
they don't do that in the newer ones?
But you can
I
only
don't
use
know.
them in
We-
transmog on the holiday, which is so stupid.
well,
I remember the mage from the Lich King dungeon when we run heroic on it, where you run up the spire in the Nexus area, Borean Tundra. It's not the Nexus, it's the other one, Oculus. The Oculus.
Oh, Oculus.
The second boss, I think, is the one where he does that huge AoE in the middle, and you gotta like run behind a pillar.
yeah.
But he used to wear a Santa hat.
No,
I remember.
I know they did that in BFA because the fucking giant fish in the Najdatar raid, the Eternal Palace,
Yeah.
was wearing a fucking hat. The fucking
Yeah.
like anglerfin eel
Yeah.
fish that you fight
Oh,
underwater.
really?
Yeah.
He was wearing a fucking hat.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
No, they still do that. We just haven't done anything. I think during this time frame to see, and I'm sure some bosses do because they're still out there.
No, Sire Denathrius probably was a perfect one to put a Santa hat
Right? Oh my god.
Man,
with a beard and everything.
Yeah.
yeah.
Hey, missed opportunities. That's what we need to turn. We need
Yeah.
to make a podcast called Missed Opportunities.
Yes. I agree.
Isn't that every episode we normally do?
Oh,
I think, I actually think we're already doing it. We might
Yeah.
just rename the podcast.
Yeah. That we're just
But
that
I'm
we found
branding.
we found the title for the podcast. Instead of holidays, it's missed opportunities.
Holidays edition.
Holidays edition. Oh man.
Yeah. So
No, I don't know. Like, I mean, what do you get excited about holiday wise? I mean, because I think you play more than anybody else right now.
Yep.
And collectively, at least on average over the last year, you probably have the most hours. So, like, do you do all the holidays?
no,
It's Jim.
I really don't. What?
No, I was just trying to be
Oh.
witty.
No, I
Jim, keeping it real.
God damn it. No, I mean, I do some of them. Like right now, I didn't realize that somebody in the guild made mention that there is like a stolen present that is from a daily quest that you can get right now from one of the what's the fucking sausage company?
This Smoky Pastures.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's it, yeah.
and like it's you go kill the Grinch and free medicine, right? The reindeer,
Yeah.
which is funny. I like it never clicked until kind of recently, but like apparently it's,
Really?
back in the day when I was actually doing that stuff, I wasn't as aware of individuals
I'm pretty sure that
associated with the game.
I
Chris
can't
Metzen
believe that.
Knowing Chris Menson is the reason that, like, I'm sorry, this is the reason that I figured out who he was originally. I'm like,
Yeah.
that's such a weird name, and I Googled it. And
It's
realized
not that weird a
oh,
name when you
wow.
think about Santa's reindeer.
Well, yeah, like Blitzen. Yes,
Yeah, you
I
know
think
what I
that
mean?
was the weirdness of it,
It
though.
it just it never occurred to me that, but apparently in years past it dropped a dagger that is shaped like a fucking Christmas tree.
Yes, yeah.
And
I do remember. It's like a little green one, isn't it?
it's a little green
dagger?
dagger. Yeah, and it drops as
Yeah.
a cosmetic now. So I'm like, well, shit, I got to go do that
Oh.
now. So I'm on my rogue going and doing that stuff. Because, well, at first it was like the dagger was an actual weapon. See, that's the thing that sucks, right? Is it actually dropped as a weapon
Right.
that, you could use. Now it drops as a cosmetic item, not a weapon. So, it's kind of good, but it's kind of bad. You know what I mean? 'Cause
Well, I mean, to be fair, I do like that system better, just because. Well, I think it still should be both, right? Like, I don't know. I mean, if it's a weapon, I guess in that case you can actually still transmog it. Like before, though, one of the biggest issues is like the headless horseman's helm was like the helm to have a certain part of the year during like
'Cause you could
use
I don't
the
know,
laugh?
BC or something. Well, what I'm saying is like, obviously in October of 2008, it was not the helm to have.
Right.
At Halloween, October 2007, it was.
Right.
I
Right.
think that's when it came out.
'Cause it was
but
so-
it was like,
yeah.
and if you didn't have it, well, now like, okay, well, if you don't run Tarzan or any of the tier 4 stuff, well then you're screwed. You technically got a helm that's somewhere between tier 4 and tier 5.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, what the fuck? Like, that sucks. Like, I can't get it now, you know?
Yeah.
And especially like after you're done with it, it's such a badass helmet. If you want to put it back on, it's worthless. So yeah, I mean, at this point, I think those trees that you're talking about, I remember them sitting on the auction house because they were always under, again, it was under item level. People weren't using them at a certain
Transmog.
point.
I had so many
Yeah.
of the fucking Brewfest mugs
Yeah.
that were BOE
Yeah.
and all that stuff. And finally, I started using them so I could get the transmog on them.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And like, you could sell those for a pretty penny because they used to be decent weapons. It's funny because I had a bunch of Death Knights that were sitting.
Really?
Yeah.
Shocker.
Yeah, that were sitting at level 50.
When was this?
Recently.
No.
That were sitting at level
No.
50 at the end of BFA? Yes, at the end of BFA. And I was leveling them during the end of BFA, and it was the Halloween stuff, and I ran them through. So some of them had the Headless Horseman sword, the helm, the
the sword with the pumpkins. The sword
Yeah.
with the pumpkins, right?
Like, I
Yes.
actually had characters that I was leveling in Shadowlands that still had that stuff equipped because it was good gear when I
Yeah.
got it from that drop because my characters, I had just brought them up and hadn't leveled them through or whatever. So it does serve a little bit of a purpose, but it could be better.
Mm-hmm.
So let's go ahead and round things out and just, without too much thought, Brian, what's your favorite holiday in WoW? Just if you had to just do one that, if it had to be up all the time, which one would you have the most fun doing stuff with? Or which one do you enjoy the most?
I'm going to say it's a tie between Halloween and Christmas.
Mine's Halloween. Yeah.
No.
Sorry. I agree. Halloween. 2 for Halloween. 2 for Halloween, 1 for Christmas.
I'll move Halloween up to number 1. How about that?
Yeah. I like Halloween only because I like the going around to get the candy. Partially because I'm a druid and I can't get dismounted. But
Well,
also,
mine fits the undead
Yeah.
race very well, so I
Yeah.
love it.
I like it because it takes you around to all the different parts of the world again, and you can see all the different parts of the world that you don't necessarily see all the time because we're usually just in one expansion. And I wish that Blizzard would implement more things to go back into the world and do things out in the world. So that kind of...
And I think it was one that was done really well because you used to, I mean,
Yeah.
you still make bank going around and doing the candy
Yeah.
quest, right?
Yeah.
But obviously we don't need that bank much anymore in comparison to before. So that one actually did a really good job of the word for redoing over and over.
Yeah.
Compared to others, at least.
What is the word?
Like Midsummer does that spinny thing in different areas and then douse the fire, light the fire thing, but nowhere near as much, I think, as Halloween does.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, Lunar does too. The Lunar Festival does that as well. Like
Yeah.
you go find all those
The Elders.
people now. Yep.
Yeah, I don't think it's the same, but I don't know. I'm kind of partial to Brewfest because I like to drink, and it really speaks to the German inside of me.
The alcoholic
All the-
inside
the-
of you.
The later hosens and all that stuff, and the outfits, and the beer and the cheese, and the sausage.
The Brewfest
'Cause
core dire brew is the best. The dungeon.
Yeah, I still remember getting the RAM, the Brewfest RAM, and being upset that I didn't have the Kodo because I played a goddamn fucking Torn,
Yeah.
and I didn't have.
Back when I played, they didn't have a Kodo.
But
it was only a RAM.
I couldn't afford, I think, to buy the race or the race mounts, the Kodos.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, oh, it's a Kodo without having to whatever. And they were, being a Torn and a Kodo with drums on it and all that stuff. It was, I don't know. I
Did
enjoyed
they update the models too for them?
Okay, at some point in time, they updated the Raptors and the Kodos for the Trolls and the Tauren, like just like the class mounts, or not class mounts, the race mounts. Like they updated them at some point in, yeah, I don't remember when. They got rid of some of the models and got new ones.
Brewfest. I thought Brewfest got their own.
Oh no,
types of models.
this is different from Brewfest. This is just in
Oh, I see.
general. So
Okay.
I don't know.
Cool.
Anyway, I think that's a. Is that? I don't know. I think it's a pretty good place to go ahead and wrap up this short episode. Hope everybody has a happy holiday and everybody stays safe and everybody enjoys all the holiday eggnog and booze and all that good stuff that comes with celebrating. Yeah, check us out at facebook.com/server-restart-in. Choose a tweet at server_restart and catch you guys next week. Bye.
Bye.
Barr.